Alright, so the new trailers for Avengers Doomsday are set to drop next week, and that means we are finally getting our very first look at Doctor Doom. But here's the thing. Thanks to a combo of new leaks and some official details, we don't have to wait to start figuring out what's coming. We've got the clues, and in this breakdown, we're going to piece them all together.
So let's just dive right into this. We're going to treat all these leaks and official ratings not just as news, but as clues in a big mystery. What are they really trying to tell us about the tone, the scale, and of course the villain at the heart of this massive film? Let's start with the hard facts.
Okay, so our investigation is going to start with the hard data, the stuff we can't really argue with, the officially confirmed runtimes for the two teasers that are about to drop.
So first up, we have the Thor-focused teaser. The audio for this one has actually already leaked, and it's clocking in at a pretty standard 1 minute and 39 seconds. But the one we're really focused on, our first look at Doctor Doom, is way shorter.
Just 1 minute and 9 seconds. Now that brevity, that's what's so interesting here. That is not a lot of time, which tells me that every single second of this teaser is going to be planned out to the smallest detail and just packed with crucial high-impact info. It's got to be building up to a huge reveal.
But you know what? The runtime isn't even our biggest clue. No, the real smoking gun comes from the official rating that was given to the Doctor Doom teaser. The little green screen you see right before a trailer plays in the theater.
And there it is. Now, a PG-13 rating, totally standard for an Avengers movie. No surprise there. But the reason for the rating is a huge tell. It's not for action, not for violence or language. It's for, and I'm quoting here, scary moments. That points to something way more intense, maybe even a little unsettling than what you'd expect from a typical superhero trailer.
So that's the million-dollar question, right? What could they possibly show us in just over a minute to earn that specific rating? Well, based on some insider leaks that have been floating around for about a month now, this rating has really led to two big theories.
Okay, theory one is that the scary moment is going to be the reveal of Doom's face, which is rumored to be seriously disfigured. That would immediately set him up as a more personal, almost body horror type of villain. But theory two, well, it's maybe even darker. The idea is we're going to see a raw display of his power by watching him actually kill another character, instantly proving how ruthless he is and putting him right up there with Thanos.
So let's see if we can find anything to back up this more intense vibe. We'll take a look at what the cast has been saying and how all of this is fitting into a bigger debate that's already happening online.
First up, we've got Simu Liu, who of course plays Shang-Chi. He's confirmed he's getting a brand new costume. Now that might seem small, but it signals that our heroes are evolving. This isn't just a simple get-together, it's an upgrade. And maybe, just maybe, they're upgrading for a much bigger threat that demands more than what they've had before.
And then there's Danny Ramirez, our new Falcon, who pretty much backs up this idea of a massive threat. He talks about being on set and just being in awe of the daily call sheets, of the scenes they were filming. I mean, that excitement from an actor on the inside, it points to a movie that's operating on a just breathtaking scale, a scale that would need a villain who is truly epic and maybe terrifying.
But all this excitement from the set is happening while there's this big debate going on about the future of the MCU. And this whole thing really kicked into high gear online right after the first teaser dropped, the one with Chris Evans' return as Captain America.
So here's the contrast. On one side, you have people all over social media saying things like, "I was in the theater, nobody cheered, the MCU is dead." But on the other side, the argument is, look, the surprise was already spoiled by leaks, and besides, who really applauds for trailers in a movie theater anyway? It's just not something people do. But what this really shows is just how high the stakes are for this next trailer to make a huge impact.
So, let's tie all of our clues together. We've got a very short, very punchy teaser coming. We have an official rating that literally promises scary moments. And we have actors who are just blown away by the scale of the film. It all leads us to one final, pretty provocative question.
I mean, think about it. After years of buildup and this search for a villain who can even come close to Thanos, this teaser might be our first real sign that Marvel is about to deliver exactly that. The answer could really define the future of the entire saga, and this 69-second first look might just be our most important clue yet.
And yeah, it points to one of the biggest days on the entire calendar.
Right? We've all seen the shaky, low-quality leaks online and heard the stories of fans who were totally let down. So in this explainer, we're going to break down a really compelling new theory that pieces together all the clues to find the real public release date.
So first off, how do we even get here? Well, Marvel had this plan for a theater-exclusive teaser series, and it didn't just backfire. It kind of blew up right on the launch pad. I mean, the strategy fell apart almost instantly. The very first teaser leaked online, and then, get this, visuals and audio for teasers that hadn't even come out yet also leaked. But the worst part? You have fans who actually went out and bought tickets specifically to see this thing, and they reported that a lot of the time the trailer didn't even play. It just created a ton of frustration instead of hype.
But, out of all that chaos, a new report has popped up. So let's take a look at the source, a scooper who seems to be building a pretty solid reputation for themselves. So this information is coming from a Twitter insider who goes by either Laker Spammer or Doom Servant. And look, while they might be a new name to some of us, they are quickly, and I mean quickly, getting attention for being right on the money lately. The buzz around them is definitely growing. A comment over on Reddit put it pretty bluntly, saying the scooper has been dropping absolute bombs, which really suggests their info has been hitting the mark over and over.
So, what's their track record? Well, they're being credited with correctly leaking the Doomsday X-Men theme, that Thor audio that appeared online, and even the trailer timing for Spider-Man No Way Home. Now look, no scooper's ever going to be 100% perfect, but that's a pretty compelling list, right?
And this brings us to the main event, the theory about the public release. Let's see how this scooper's clue leads us to a very specific and honestly a very logical date.
Okay, so according to the leak, the plan is to send the full official trailer out for its public release exactly 1 month after that fourth and final theater-exclusive teaser is scheduled to drop, which is on January 8th. So, if we do the math on that,
We land right on February 8th, and what's happening on that day? Oh, just the Super Bowl. Yeah, this isn't just some random date, it's arguably the single biggest advertising stage in the entire world.
And this theory makes so much sense, because dropping a massive trailer during the Super Bowl, that is a classic Marvel move.
And we don't even have to look far for proof. I mean, they ran this exact playbook just this year for Deadpool and Wolverine, which had that huge, record-breaking trailer launch during the big game.
So to really understand why this date works, you need to know a term called trailer distribution. This is super important. The final trailer file isn't just uploaded the day it premieres. Nope. It's sent to TV networks and online platforms way in advance, sometimes weeks before, so everything is ready to go live at the exact same moment.
Ryan Reynolds himself actually gave us a peek behind the curtain on this. He talked about how the Deadpool trailer was distributed early with a hilarious placeholder title, Deadpool and Friend, to keep that Wolverine reveal a secret. This basically confirms that trailers for these big Super Bowl spots are sent out well ahead of time.
So when you put it all side by side, the strategy looks identical. For Deadpool and Wolverine, they used the Super Bowl to create a massive, record-breaking launch. The theory is that Marvel wants to do that exact same thing for their flagship Avengers franchise. It's a proven playbook to get the most hype possible, and, let's be real, to fix the messy rollout they started with.
So why is getting this right so important for Marvel? Well, it's all about uniting the fan base and controlling the narrative. Two things this current strategy has completely failed at.
A single global release creates this powerful shared experience. It lets everyone, all the fans, the critics, the YouTubers, join the conversation at the exact same time. It avoids taking people off who can't get to a specific movie theater. And maybe most importantly, it stops all the negative press that comes from leaks and fan frustration.
Ultimately, this whole theater-only approach has been punishing the people who are the most excited to see this footage. It fractures the conversation and forces creators who work with Marvel to just sit there on the sidelines while everyone else is talking about the leaks. A big Super Bowl drop, it fixes all of that in an instant.
You know, given Marvel's history and the clear need to get this launch back on track, the Super Bowl just feels like the most logical, high-impact moment to finally release the Avengers Doomsday trailer to the world. But that does leave one final question. If this theory is wrong, and it's not the Super Bowl, then when?